Hi, everybody. I wanted to do a quick update going into the new year for everybody. Going over some of the data here. Another tough day, ending the month of December, which has been our worst month of the pandemic. We lost 8 residents over the last 24 hours, 3 in hospitals, 90-year-old female, 86-year-old male, and a 60-year-old male. And then we lost 5 residents in nursing homes. So certainly, it's just unbearable to really think about what these families are going through. But we're going to get through it all. Moving on to cases. Thursdays are our high case day, has been that way for 5 weeks. We believe it has to do with the way that the national labs actually report in. High case day of the week, hopefully 454. So 454 new cases. Last week, I think we were about 470 on the same day. So tough to tell from this data if this means anything about a Christmas spike yet. Tomorrow's cases, Saturdays and Sundays, will tell us if we're going to lose the ground that we made up from Thanksgiving. After the Thanksgiving surge, we had 2 straight weeks of decreasing caseloads week over week. 2 straight weeks. We had 3 pretty good days so far today. A little bit less than where we were at this point last week, and last week was a better week. But again, for a Christmas surge, we'll start to see that probably Saturday and Sunday in the data, then Monday and Tuesday of next week. So kind of inconclusive on that. But certainly out of the 454, the bright spot certainly is that we only had 7 senior facility cases. And out of the 7, one of them was an employee. So senior facility cases have been about 10 to 15% of our cases. These have been about 30% of our hospitalizations. And then certainly even larger when we look at loss of life. So the fact that we have less senior facility cases bodes well for our hospitalizations and certainly loss of life. But it just shows you that the virus is in the community outside of that. And so that we need to take the proper precautions. We know what we're doing with this. Related to hospitalizations, another better day. 298 hospitalizations. Yesterday we had 309. When you look at the last few days, we've been doing better. Our total bed count in the community is better as well today. Our hospitals are doing an amazing job working together, trying to sustain capacity, build up additional capacity in the event of a Christmas or New Year's surge. We'll talk about that in a minute. So 298 down 11, 47 in the ICU. I think that's about where we were yesterday. We still have 23 residents that need to be transferred, and these are just county residents. Remember, our hospitals care for all of central New York and northern New York as well. So there are residents from senior facilities in the hospital outside of our county that are recovered. They've recovered. They need a negative test. Our facility, our COVID transitional facility at Loretto, has taken 42 residents this week. Next week, we're working on having them take more as they transition to test negative, then they go back to their homes. But there's 23 essentially residents out of the 298 that no longer need hospital care. So we'll work on getting those folks transferred out into the COVID transitional unit next week. So the hospital capacity still very, very stressed, but a little bit of good news over the last 3 days related to COVID numbers. And then our regional COVID numbers, again, it serves the region itself, but also parts of northern New York as well. 384 hospitalizations related to COVID total in our 3 large hospitals. Again, 298 coming from Onondaga County residents. So when we look at all this, I just think it's really important that we don't know what has happened yet with Christmas. And so we're in this weird spot where it takes usually 2 weeks, 10 to 14 days to see if we're going to have a surge. a surge would mean we would lose the ground in cases that we've gained in the last 2 weeks, but also we would lose the ground we've made up in hospitalizations, and that's the key driver right now, for everything right now. The state's looking at hospitalizations as far as metrics for further economic restrictions. I know there's lots of businesses out there, restaurants especially, that would love to have some indoor dining capacity. I know there's a lot of advocates reaching out to us about that. So what is happening Christmas is going to happen. We can't control that. What we can control is what happens tonight. And I'm just pleading with everybody to be smart, stay at home. 2020 has been very, very difficult for everybody. This has been the worst month of 2020, probably one of the worst months in our county's history. I know we want to turn the page. We're going to turn the page, and we're going to be stronger going into 21. But part of being stronger starts today and tonight by making small sacrifices and by celebrating the new year in a smart way, which really is by celebrating at your house, not doing anything else. So saying that, part of turning the page is our vaccinations. Our pod has been up all week and running, vaccinating phase 1A. We will continue to vaccinate phase 1A next week as it expands, and we continue to vaccinate more people every day. We will go through Monday with any information that the state shares with us about the next group of people that may qualify under phase 1A. But we will communicate this, and we'll communicate it often. It's really important. The vaccine is here. We're going to get to everybody. We will vaccinate everybody that wants a vaccine, and we'll encourage everybody to take a vaccine. But be patient with this. We're building this up. Every day we punch back more as a community with this virus by vaccinating, and we need to do our part by physically distancing and mask wearing, etc. in the meantime. And we'll get through this. But we can determine our own fate related to a New Year's surge tonight by being smart. I want to thank everybody for everything that they've done in 2020. I know how difficult it has been for you in your work. Many people have been out of work. I know how difficult it's been at home with your families. And for as bad as 2020 has been, there are everyday people who have done extraordinary things, and I'm very proud of that. And we need to take those life lessons into 2021, and we're going to have a better year. We're going to get our lives back. We're going to be able to be together and celebrate together, and it's going to be great. But there's still a lot of work to do to get to that point. So, Happy New Year. God bless all of you, and I will talk to you